Every path I've explored, every road this situation could take, seems always to bring me back to them. I've looked at this trailer too many times to count, and I've scoured through enough information at this point to be called a Zelda historian. But every time I look, I seem to find something new. Connect dots I didn't even know existed. Look at my friends' and colleagues' theories, finding points to trace new lines, continuing to build connections from a baseline little we have, and an unlimited potential we have been shown. Today I want to start with a simple question. Who are the Zonai tribe? If you don't know anything about this group, I wouldn't blame you, for Breath of the Wild never outright tells us of such a people's existence. Learning about the Zonai in Breath of the Wild is knowledge that can only be obtained through exploration and passive storytelling. The Zonai are, as the official sourcebooks of Breath of the Wild themselves say, the greatest mystery of Hyrule, people that suddenly vanished long ago. Fitting for a tribe whose identification itself comes from the word mystery. The history of the Zonai people has been lost to time. There are rumors that they were a savage tribe based in Faron, where the most substantial of their ruins are located. However, Zonai ruins, or ruins with very similar characteristics, can be found in all parts of Hyrule. In addition to the massive palace in Faron, the Zonai ruins throughout Hyrule seem to have elements connecting them to the ancient shrines. The Zonai themselves are spoken of in hushed whispers, as strong magic wielders who vanished suddenly, thousands of years ago. The disappearance of the Zonai is one of Hyrule's greatest mysteries. The Zonai people's history very well has been lost to time, but it's the dark truth behind that disappearance that we are here to explore today. It's time to start connecting the dots. The first step on the way to unraveling the mystery of the Zonai is to look at everything we know about the mysterious tribe. Rarely spoken of in Hyrule, a savage tribe based in the Faron region. The barbarian armor refers to the warmongering tribe of Faron. A swirl insignia mark their structures. Ruins of their civilization can be found all throughout Hyrule. Many of these ruins hold ancient shrines. Their structures hold a great emphasis on dragons, owls, and pigs, representing the three virtues of the Triforce. Notable ruins include the Lame Labyrinths, Typhlo Ruins, Thundera Plateau, and Zonai Towers, said to have magical powers, dropped off the face of the earth. This is the basic list of everything we know about the Zonai tribe, but the view it provides is still fuzzy. All these traits and details in a way make sense, but there is still little correlation between the information we have. Without a way to link the information on this list, it is little more than disjointed scraps of history. But when we start to look at each detail we've been given, only then will you begin to understand the Zonai people. Creating the Champion tells us that the Zonai were rumored to be a savage tribe that inhabited the Faron region, and this is backed up by the description of the barbarian armor. Armor once favored by the ancient warlike tribe of the Faron region. The paint bolsters your fighting spirit and raises your attack power. Meanwhile, we are also told and can see the great ruins of this civilization spread all across Hyrule, not only with the Zonai ruins and Lame Labyrinths, but also miscellaneous ruins spread all across the land. Two particular locations hold extraordinary perpetuating properties, almost as if these areas had been touched by some kind of magic. Which brings us to the Whispers, the power possessed by the Zonai, the power of spells and magic. The Zonai ruins are marked by a swirl symbol and an architectural design portraying three beasts of the Triforce's virtues. Many of these locations also house ancient shrines, however it's unclear if these shrines were constructed before or after the Zonai's disappearance. And so the links begin to appear. This list can be crafted into the story of these ancient people. However, it doesn't all make sense. Now does it? Rumors of a savage warlike tribe making Faron their stronghold. Whispers of a race of master magicians and architects with ruins found all across Hyrule. It just doesn't add up. The behaviors described of the Zonai tribe are on opposite sides of the coin. They clash like yin and yang. And if both these rumors and whispers are to be true, then it can only lead us to one conclusion. The Zonai was not one tribe. It was two. Who are the Zonai tribe? Two peoples, united under one goal. But that leads us to our next question. How did they come together, and what was this goal? History is told by the victor. The same is often true in the Zelda series. Every game we hear about the great exploits of Hyrule's heroes, the dastardly villain that threatens the entire world, and the monarchy of Hyrule, keeping peace and balance throughout the land. It takes some deeper digging to get the whole story, though. Oftentimes, quite literally. In Breath of the Wild, we have the opportunity to hear history not only from the perspective of the Hylians, but also from the Sheikah. This is how we learn of the exile of the Sheikah that was sanctioned at the hand of the royal family, an exile that was made out of fear. After the Sheikah's usefulness in crafting the weapons used to repel the calamity 10,000 years ago had run out, they were no longer anything but a threat to Hyrule's monarchy. This is a glimpse at the true nature of Hyrule's monarchs, the excessive need to keep power in their own hands, no matter the cost. But there's more, because this isn't the first time this has happened. The Sheikah were not the only people to suffer this fate. The first Zonai tribe, what we will be referring to the tribe of magic users and builders as. I believe these people were once of paramount importance to all of Hyrule. That is over 10,000 years ago. The first Zonai tribe was behind every fragment of Zonai ruins we see in Breath of the Wild, with their capital city being the now engulfed in darkness Typhlo ruins. But thanks to some special help from fellow YouTuber Postposterus, we can eliminate the darkness surrounding Typhlo ruins. When lifting the veil of darkness stretched over these ruins in Breath of the Wild, what you will find is a sight to behold. One of the most well-preserved ruin sites in all of Hyrule, with more blatant Zonai imagery to be seen than even the ruins of the tribe's name. Typhlo was the Zonai's capital city. That was until the purge of the first Zonai tribe. A civilization that stretches all across Hyrule, with some of the most advanced architecture seen in all of Hyrule, and people that possess a great magical power. In other words, a great threat to the monarch's power. Not the first time this has happened, and it would not be the last. And that leads us back to the present-day darkness that befell Typhlo ruins. A spell cast to protect the capital, and to allow the few remaining members of the first tribe to escape in the confusion. A spell that, interestingly enough, has not dissipated to this day. The first Zonai tribe was decimated. In the royal family's attempt to rid the world of the threat this advanced race of magic wielders posed, they had all but succeeded. However, little did they know that their actions would be the catalyst for their ancestors' next 10,000 years of pain and suffering. The royal family of Hyrule drove together the first and second Zonai tribes. The second Zonai tribe, what we will refer to the savage warmongering people of Faron as, were much more straightforward when it comes to their motives and actions. And that's because, unlike the first tribe, these people lived for one thing: power. They raided and ransacked across eastern Hyrule with a simple goal of survival and gaining more power. This was until the fateful day a lone man arrived in their forest. He defeated their leader swiftly, with a power and aura in his strikes unlike anything they had ever seen. This man was the leader they needed to gain the power they sought, and they were the warriors he desired to have at his side. However, the man still had more on his agenda. He would need the help of a powerful magician, and it just so happened the Kingdom of Hyrule was leading this magician and the few remaining survivors of his race right to him. The Zonai ruins are one of the most intact structures of the Zonai to be found throughout all of Hyrule, because they were the final structures the Zonai ever built. The connection the Zonai share with the figures in their architecture is fascinating. Ruins all around Hyrule show their strong connection to the Triforce with depictions of dragons and owls. Still, something rather odd occurs specifically in the Faerun region. While dragons and owls are found in most Zonai structures around the world, only in Faerun, located around the Zonai ruins, will you find depictions of the third virtue, the Boar of Power. It was in the Faerun forest that the few remaining members of the Zonai tribe first met him. Ganondorf, King of Thieves and bearer of the Triforce of Power. And just as the second tribe sensed a great power within him, they did as well. However, unlike the second tribe, this gave them great caution. The ruins are primarily animal-themed, but with the history of the Triforce from an ancient perspective in mind. The designs are symbolic, using dragons, courage, owls, wisdom, and boars, power. The first Zonai tribe had a greater connection to the Triforce than you might think. They could see that the most feared virtue of the Triforce resided in this man, but they were out of options, and vengefulness was beginning to consume them. The Spring of Courage would become the base of the stronghold the United Zonai tribe constructed together, the last structure they would ever erect. Under Ganondorf, the Zonai were born, but they were never a tribe. They were an army. The pieces were finally beginning to fall into place. Ganondorf's plan to take control of Hyrule and crush the monarchy once and for all would soon begin. Legions of vicious warriors and a select few powerful magicians. This was Ganondorf's army, and it was about time he revealed his full plan to them. The first tribe desired revenge, the second tribe desired power, and Ganondorf assured them he could provide them both what they wanted, but that the price of their heart's desires would be high. They would have to infiltrate Hyrule Castle and gain access to the chambers hidden deep below it. One thing I could never understand about this trailer was its appearance. Lined with Gerudo jewelry and a ceremonial-looking cloth, walls filled with Zonai symbols and structures of their making visible everywhere. Wall paintings that depict what is almost certainly Ganondorf, with some familiar-looking outlines behind him, and finally, the mysterious hand. What does it all mean? Well, it's time to connect the dots one last time. Ganondorf led his army to Hyrule Castle to secure the underground chamber. Once they entered, the exit was sealed. No one was to get in, and no one was to get out. This would be their moment of triumph. The Calamity. Calamity Ganon is arguably the most powerful incarnation of Ganon we have ever seen. But taking on this form came with its own great sacrifice for Ganondorf, sealing away his own body. He entered this state of his own will. And while Ganondorf would now be a prisoner to this spell, that is something he accepted a long time ago. The purpose of the Zonai was to aid in the creation of the Calamity, to help him perform the sealing ritual that would seal away his body and unlock the hidden power of his unquenchable hate, malice. The first tribe was to perform the ritual, and the second to secure the castle. This was Ganondorf's plan from the very beginning. But once the Calamity rose, the Zonai fell. They had sealed off the entrance. No one was to get in, and no one was to get out. These wall carvings were the last thing left by the Zonai trapped inside after their arrival. They tell the story of Ganondorf and their people. The story of their triumph. Ganondorf never broke his promises to the Zonai. Through the Calamity, Hyrule was devastated, and the monarchy was finally dealt the same pain they had inflicted on countless others. And the Zonai gained an even greater power than they could have ever imagined. The power over death. Over 10,000 years later, the seal entrapping the events of Hyrule's past has finally been lifted, opening the way not only to the source of Hyrule's real peril, but also to the people that dropped off the face of the earth. No longer a tribe. No, they never were. The true Ganon faithful, his undead army, the Zonai. Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the theory. I had a lot of fun putting this one together. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below. Am I crazy? Am I a genius? I don't know sometimes, so I'd like a second opinion. If you liked the video, hit that like button thing, subscribe for more Zelda content and other stuff very soon. And remember, you're amazing. Have a wonderful day. I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.